These three muscles are located on the anterior aspect of the leg between the shaft of the tibia and the peroneal muscles. The tibialis anterior is large, superficial, and the most clearly isolated of the group. It lies directly lateral to the tibial shaft. And then squeezed between the tibialis anterior and the peroneal muscles is the extensor digitorum, which is partially superficial. The muscle belly of the extensor hallucis longus lies deep to the other two muscles and can be accessed only indirectly. The extensors of the ankle and toes basically fill up this region right here on the anterior and lateral side of the leg. There we can see a great example of where they all are positioned. Good. So let's begin with the tibialis anterior, which, as the name suggests, is next to the shaft of the tibia. And there we can see it alone on the front of the leg. So in order to get a sense of where it's located, I'm first going to find the shaft of the tibia. And probably the easiest thing to do is locate the medial malleolus here, and then I'm just going to slide my thumb proximally as it becomes the shaft of the tibia. That's the very superficial shin bone that runs up the entire length of the leg. And if I come back a little bit, I can sort of fall off laterally off the shaft, just like so. And there's a very palpable edge of the shaft of the tibia. And as my thumb falls laterally, I'm now in the land of the tibialis anterior, right there. There's that belly, sort of a tubular belly running like so down past the ankle. And if I ask my partner to just dorsiflex your ankle, this muscle belly really engages. You can even see the sort of topography that it forms right there on the top of the leg. And if I follow it distally, it becomes tendinous, and there we can see a really great example as the tendon passes over the top of the ankle and comes over here to attach on the medial side of the foot. Really feel that tendon right there. And there's a couple of the retinacula that pass over the tendons to hold them down and in place. Good, and relax. And so now that it's relaxed, I can even roll my thumb across that tendon like so. And that's going to be my first extensor, the tibialis anterior. Now, if this is the location of the tibialis anterior, there we see it. Here we can also see next to it the extensor digitorum longus, that equally long belly that then branches off into four tendons that come to the toes. Good. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to locate the edge of that tibialis anterior. So there's the belly I'm sort of rolling over. And there's a little gap right there. And that gap is what separates the tibialis anterior from the peroneals. And if I set my thumb right into that space, there's another equally rounded belly that seems to run down the leg. And for this muscle, I'm going to just ask my partner to see if she can just extend her toes. She's going to try to pull all of her toes back a little bit. Wow. And this belly really engages. Now, go ahead and just for fun, go ahead and just kind of wiggle your toes. You're going to kind of flex them and extend them. Oh, sure. And right here, this muscle belly is definitely sort of undulating as she wiggles her toes. Great. And relax. So if I follow that down, I know that it's going to be just lateral to that tibialis anterior muscle. And go ahead and dorsiflex again. There we can see the tendon of the extensor digitorum pass, again, underneath those retinacula, and then divide into four tendons here on the top of the foot. And those are the tendons of the extensor digitorum longus. Great. And relax. Now, if this is my tibialis anterior, and here's my extensor digitorum, well, where's the extensor hallucis longus? Well, that's deep between the two. And an easy way to start with that muscle is to go ahead and just dorsiflex again. Great. And do you see this tendon right here? That's the tendon of the extensor hallucis longus. And it sort of penetrates right in between the tibialis anterior and the extensor digitorum. And you can see as it kind of goes right up in between those two and lays deep here underneath the two other extensors. Great, and relax. So we've got those three extensors. And finally, just one step further, just to note where they're at, here is going to be the peroneals on that lateral side of the leg. So really the extensors are framed by that shaft of the tibia and the peroneal muscles here running from that head of the fibula all the way down past around the lateral malleolus. And finally, if I wanted to shorten the extensors, I can passively dorsiflex my partner's ankle, and if I wanted to lengthen them, I can plantar flex the ankle.